Hello, hello, hello. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Lady Wu in the building today with J Hat from the Abby Award winning Vital Show, which airs here on B94.9 WATV every Sunday night. Y'all know I'm on every day anyway. They know. They know, right? J Hat, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
All is well. All is well. Got a lot to talk about. And we have some guests that are scheduled to come in today. So we're waiting on them. But while we wait, which won't be long. I heard they have like a grace period, and I'm gonna follow those rules too because I'm very timely, and I know that there are a lot of things to discuss. So I also have been thinking about like all the things that are happening, and I said that hey, it's always beneficial during a talk show to have a vent box. So we used to do the vital vent box where people could call in and talk about what they needed to talk about. Like this is what I've been thinking about. This is what has been impacting me, and I want to talk about it. I want to see what other people are saying. So you can do that as well. 994-8949, and you can share what you want to talk about. That's what these platforms are for. Jay, what's been on your mind?
Hey, working it out, baby. Working it out. Just business as usual.
Yeah.
Work, school, making moves.
How are you taking in all of the things that are happening politically?
Bit by bit.
It's so much.
Yeah. So having to teach it, and relate it, connect it, we just take it bit by bit,
Yeah.
and we speak and seek the truth of it away from the political side. So, I teach in the middle,
Mm-hmm.
and I let everybody go to the right or left, however they choose. But just teaching the facts.
Okay. You know, when we have these conversations on Sunday nights, we talk about it from the aspect of the classroom. A lot of times, civics and government, we didn't understand it as students. You don't really get it until you get in it. And then, even still, you don't really understand you don't understand it. You don't really get it until you are in it or until you take the time to really see how it's impacting you.
Right. And what I've come to discover is that the vast majority of people, she said I ain't got no sound. Uh, the vast majority of adults don't understand civics as well, and that's the sad reality.
Yeah.
And that speaks to the voter apathy as well. So
So I don't understand it, so therefore I don't vote. I don't engage in the political process because it makes no sense to me. That's
right,
kind of what that is.
not interested because I'm not informed.
Oh,
I'm not engaged. Our government and our democracy only works with um, the participation of the citizen.
mm. So when the people engage, when the media does a better job of discussing these topics from a foundational level, like
Right.
what is happening, how is it happening, and then how am I affected? Then you can have an opinion. A lot of people are very much opinion speakers, but they haven't experienced it and they don't understand what they're speaking on. And that mm,
Yeah. And so the
mm,
media is going to always be surface. You'll have investigators or you'll have people who are in Washington who
mhm.
have more depth,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
But the vast majority of journalists don't dig. They get really at the surface. And so result of that, right, you have people who are going to be slanted because usually whatever your perception is of
Yeah.
the political circles, that's where you're going to gather to. That's where you're going to attract to. So one-on-one civics, keep it
I
in the
see that
middle,
comment.
and
Yeah.
then you let people go to the right or left as they choose.
Mm. This comment says there is actually a game board with these explanations on them of government. And there are tools that are necessary. But when you start having these conversations in primetime radio with a diverse listening audience, we're about variety.
Right.
So I don't want everybody to always have the same thought process.
Correct.
But however, when all of us are impacted by these same things and these themes, it seems that it would make sense for us to want to be on one accord.
Right. And that's hard to do because, again, when you don't have the basics, the vast majority of people can't be on accord with you.
Okay, let's go to the basics. We want to do a quick lesson so that we can know what we're talking about and why it's important. So, the main thing right now is that the government is in a shutdown. Another vote will happen on tomorrow. Why are we shut down? How does the government even shut down? Like, who shut the doors on the government? Well,
Well,
how do we get here?
understanding the government is a business too,
Okay.
and for any funding to be allocated to any of the departments, you have to have what's called a CR,
Hmm.
because the appropriations of the money is actually a law, so they sign it. So what happens is one side or the other does not get their way or forces the issue to get their way,
Yes.
and you don't have a compromise because you need a certain amount of votes to get the CR passed. And right now, the holdup is in the Senate because they have the Democrats have the power to force this type of operation. So we're shut down partially until they can come to an agreement, really just to continue what happened in March.
Right. So we're not at an agreement because the big beautiful bill, and I heard our representative Hakeem Jeffries say the big ugly bill, I just call it what it is. It is threatening health care.
Right.
They, as always, want to rip apart Obamacare, which has stood the test of time. I'm grateful for it personally. But they don't want to give money to nothing named Obama, nothing. And then on top of that, even if it's not Obamacare, Medicare and Medicaid, we don't want to fund that. There are other things that we can put this money toward, like my pocket, my son's pocket, this program that we believe in, but not those programs. And so now, remember a couple of months ago, we were talking about the Democrats not fighting. Everybody was like, well,
Right.
what they gonna do? They ain't saying nothing. Ain't no this is how you say something.
Right. And it's funny because when you look at the CR, it's kind of funny because it's really just what happened in March. And so the same players have changed their tune because again, midterms are approaching next year.
Okay.
So you have the political pressure from your home base. You have people challenging your seats. Now you change your language because just a few months ago, you didn't want to shut down.
Yeah.
Now you're willing to have that fight,
Mhm.
but it's the same CR, continuing resolution, which means a lot of the things that took place in March are still the same here.
It is what it is. Still the
So,
same stuff.
yeah.
All right. So 994-8949. I see your comments. Thank you for those. Thanks for tuning in and for chiming in. The vent box is open. Um, yeah, it's open to you. Y'all asking where Chris is, somewhere minding some other business. That's why we're here today. You can catch us every Sunday night at 7. Catch me every day from 12 to 3. And then whenever else I am here, like right now. Carice said, I forgot the government was shut down. They haven't figured out a solution yet. No.
No.
What would a feasible first of all, do the majority, do the masses understand why the government is shut down? I don't think that most people understand why it's happening.
No.
And then who, like first level, who it affects. Federal workers. You own a federal job. You used to want a federal job for the benefits, for the security of it until Doge, until Trump the first time, right?
Right.
I would have taken an old good federal job.
Correct.
But
So-
now, no.
Yeah. So shout out and prayers to the military because millions of them are not getting paid. And so if you go out to some of the websites, you can actually see who is and who's not getting paid.
Yeah.
And who is and who's not getting furloughed. But the sad reality about all this, Woo, is the political posturing and the players who are making these decisions or not doing their job. Let's just say it like that, because we send you there to do this, to do the job. You're getting paid. Why everybody else don't get paid?
And that part is crazy to me because you're voted in for free. We vote you in.
Correct.
Right. And then you run on what you're going to do that does not say. Only one person I've heard so far said that they would not take their pay.
Correct.
And I don't even remember who it was, but that is an important fact. Like,
right. I can't.
You're a public
and
servant.
so that type of servant, because that
Public
again, that person
servant.
has a servant mentality. How do you and let's break it down. They get paid about $175,000 a year. Okay, so $10,000-$15,000 a month.
How many?
Between 10 and 15. So between 10, 15,000. I'm just doing roundabout numbers, and you're getting this monthly. The average family don't bring in $10,000 a month. Those are just facts. So
do you hear me?
For you to take your money while everybody else don't get money, but it's because you failed to do a job. Your job. You got one job.
What is that?
Pass a budget.
Pass a budget.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to pass the budget because the budget does not go with what we want. And so this is us fighting back. We know that some will lose, as with anything. people will lose when there's a fight ensued. Like somebody will lose something. However, the gain shall be big. So hopefully we'll come out on top with that. Post your comments, call in if you like. Somebody said Brit, but she has money. So Brit is the one that said it was somebody else too. Maybe in another place.
I thought it was a guy.
It was a guy that I saw, but he decided that, hey, I don't have to worry about keep my money, keep it. I can function. I liked that. I did. Like, volunteer, sir, till y'all can figure this out. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, you're in with the show. We're in the tank. So the show is in the tank. What are your thoughts, feelings, comments, or questions?
Hello?
Hey, can you hear us?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, my name is Charles Jordan, and it's trying to set this country. I'm ex-special forces. I think he trying to set this country.
I'm gonna ask you to call back when you are in a more stable environment. You're really, really choppy, and we want to hear what you were saying. Caller, you're in with the show. It's the think tank. What are your thoughts, feelings, questions, or comments? Caller, you're in with the show.
Hello?
Yes. Go ahead.
Hey.
Go ahead with your thoughts, feelings, comments,
How you
questions.
doing, local lady?
All is well. 994-8949 is the number. Call in with your thoughts, feelings, comments, questions as it pertains to what's happening with the U.S. government. There is a major situation happening right now. What's up, Wendy?
What's going on?
Welcome to the show.
I'm in the middle.
The middle of the day.
The middle of the day.
Jason
middle
said,
of the topic, middle of everything.
it's all good. Jump right in. You live in America. You in the United States, so you are impacted. So, I mean, I don't know how people function and don't know what's going on around them. Remember election day, I had somebody to say to me that evening, like, I didn't even know we was voting today. How did you not know that there was a vote today and signs were everywhere, commercials were everywhere? You don't check your mailbox. It was mailers everywhere all the time. I thought that was a waste. I said, so yeah, that's a waste of money. Do something else with that money. It was so much going on, but people still didn't know what was happening. So that's scary all in itself.
Right.
You live in a world with things happening that impact and affect you every day, and you don't know what's happening at all. No clue. And you say it's because they don't understand.
Yeah, they literally don't understand. That's piece of it. And because they're not engaged to understand, they don't watch news, or they get screwed news from social media news. And a lot of those clickbaits are fake. But people just don't watch the news and they're not informed. And when you're informed, you make better decisions. And unfortunately, the other part of why people are not engaged is they've been lied and let down so long and so many times. So it's like, what's the point of listening? What's the point of hearing? And what's the point of voting if everybody finna lie to me? So it's a lot. And so the voter apathy that we see is directly connected to the politicians that we have.
All right. Are you talking about locally or nationally?
Both.
Okay.
All three levels.
I think it's more of a fundamental issue.
Okay.
I know what made me engage in what was going on in the news is because we were taught how it affected each form and presence of the government. Like, this branch did this branch did that. This is what this is what that is.
Mm-hmm.
They're not even being taught fundamentals in school anymore, as it pertains to what the government is, how they operate, and it's not engaging. So why would I be interested on a local level, state level, federal? Why would I be interested in any of that if I don't know how it applies and pertains to me?
So you have to make it personal.
You have to make everything personal when it comes to people, because they're not going to feel the need to be engaged. They don't feel like they have a responsibility if it doesn't pertain to them.
Okay. So I'm going to take it that all of the people that tune in to shows like this, tune in to Vital, tune in to talk shows, are a part of the process.
They're a part of the process, and they're a part of our age group.
Okay.
You're not going to find any younger people listening to Vital because they don't know what Vital even is. They don't know what's vital for operations in life, in society, in the government, period. So we know because we were taught the fundamentals. We get it. We were engaged. We get it. Our parents did make us watch the news. When we got in trouble, I think we had to sit down and we was watching the news. We couldn't watch nothing else.
I did it anyway. My grandparents after dinner would be sitting in there. We would watch the news. We would eat dinner. Then we would sit in the den. We would watch the news. We would watch Chicago news.
We did.
And then we watched Wheel of Fortune. And it was not a problem.
And
I
at night,
enjoyed those moments.
It was the heat of the night,
We in the heat of it. And right now we are in the heat of the shutdown. And I just want to make sure first and foremost that we understand what's happening. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, you're in the Think Tank with the show. What are your thoughts, feelings, comments, or questions?
Hello, how you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
I hope that you're able to hear. Okay, let me let you all write this so that the audience can also TikTok and about what you all are on point.
Mm-hmm.
It's called I Am Politics, P-O-L-I-T, girl.
I am politics,
And
girl.
this lady, this white lady has garnered 500. Like when you first hear her, probably like, but if you listen to the entire conversation, it's perspective as to going about MAG and how they are blamed. So when you all get it, but
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm.
about everything except for life. Life is politics.
Yeah.
Just so happened this is the way that it is. The system, the government is on whose shoulders? Jesus, right? But he gives us the right and the choices. But we got to learn how to discuss these things.
Okay.
And if you notice, no matter where you go, and we all are witnesses, your story is not my story is not your story, but I know because we talk to people 24/7, 365.
Right.
We talk about everything except for what we need to be talking about. Then we wait to the last minute and run and go do this and run and go do that, and no one is listening as to what's the process, the protocol to address a lot of things. This is the reason why also all these groups and organizations and coalitions come up from different states is to oppose what's going on. And because we're uneducated and we don't see it that way, thank God for some groups and nonprofits and organizations that stand up against unrighteousness or against corruption.
All right. Thank you so much for that comment. 994-8949 is the number. We are getting into the foundational pieces of what we are faced with. Every day, our president is doing what he wants. Basically, I can do what I want. Like they gave me the power to do it. Y'all voted me in. Here I am, and I'm going to execute this plan. I think the plan was called Project 2025, right? Ain't that what it was? Ain't that?
That's the playbook.
And what everybody say, that's not real. That ain't real. And what he say, I didn't read it.
With your name in it, at least 100 plus.
I mean, now my name has been in some messages about some stuff, and I had nothing to do with it. However, them Epstein files and this right here, you all in there, sir. All right. There's a lot to discuss. There's a lot to break down, a lot of happenings out of this. I was in D.C. last week for the Congressional Black Caucus, and the energy in DC is way different from what I see every day.
Yeah.
When you are in a place that is directly experiencing something and they have to deal with it every day, DC is like a test ground right now. So I saw the National Guard out. Y'all want to ask me what they were doing?
Yeah. How was that?
Uh, they were talking. It was like a group of 4 right here. They were talking to each other. There was another group of 4 over here. And this was in 2 different locations, but they weren't in locations that you would think are high crime areas. I didn't know how to feel about that piece. I'm like, now, I was offended in the beginning that the president felt that he should deploy soldiers to areas to keep down or to show Democratic ran cities how to fight crime and violence. That was
Right.
the whole explanation. But when I was in the hood, because that's kind of where everybody thought you were gonna send them to black, that's not where they were. It didn't. I said, so
Didn't
you
make sense. Huh?
who you paying them to come and just stand here? Our Uber driver said they have been so bored that they've been picking up trash. Yeah.
As
we
in the National Guard picking up trash.
Yes. Because people are literally minding their business in places. People mind their business for the most part. And when things do happen, those things are domestic a lot of times, right? Like these are, So would you all be offended if the National Guard was placed in Birmingham, like in the inner city? In the black areas, because that was the perception of the request.
I think DC becomes the not so much of a test. I think if they go to Memphis, they go to Portland, Oregon. If they come to Birmingham, they go to Chicago, you get a different version of the National Guard.
Okay.
I think you get a different agenda,
a
different strategy,
okay,
and a different end goal. I personally don't think it should be done because we have federalism for a reason, which is the states control police powers,
right.
And the federal government is basically there for the support of that. The governor, right, holds that power inside of the state, but our governor has already said, "Hey, bring it on."
Oh, of course, of course.
Right. So you see that these tests with the military, or AKA what 2025 was calling for martial law.
Yeah.
Right. You see these tests being really about red states with red governors and blue mayors. And if you look at the landscape, that's what's exactly is happening. So I know Woodfin is probably not for that because we have our own police department. We have a county department and we can control and monitor our own crimes here in the county and the city. However, that's the governor's call. And if she deploys them, they're here.
Wasted resources.
Yeah, I think most of it is it's a whole agenda where you're inciting chaos in order to enforce. And I think that's the whole agenda of 2025.
In every
aspect. So if I tell you I'm going to have the National Guard here, I have to put them here and put the presence there so I can say that they were there and they had to be there. Now, whether or not they had to do anything, that's something different. But I can put down that the National Guard was here and they had to be here for a reason. I told you I would have to enforce this. Okay. So I incite chaos. I do all the things I'm doing within the government because I'm the president. I can do exactly what I want to do. So it creates chaos. It creates a chaotic environment. And when people get upset, then you're going to come back and say, oh, now we need the National Guard. But you created this environment. You're gaslighting.
9948949, but hold that comment. That is what it is. So like we see it every day. We've seen it before, like anytime something happens from Charlie Kirk to anything else, it's a distraction.
It is.
Cardi B and Nicki Minaj, it's a distraction.
They know, and that's the part of why people our age aren't engaged in politics because we're distracted. Or the younger generation, they're distracted with other things. They don't care about what's going on in the government. They don't know. And can you blame them? Because we've incited this environment. We're not forcing it on them for them to know and be educated about the government and laws and voting. We don't force it on them like it was forced on us. It was forced onto us. We had to participate in these things. They made these things happen in school. We had to register to vote in school. They showed us how to do all this stuff and told us why it was important. They're not showing them why it's important. They're hands off now in schools, in most schools, because in those kids' environments in their lives, things have been incited and they've been enforced. And guess what? It's not the same things that we had. It's not the same principles we had. So it's different.
It's not the same representation or leadership that we had. So now you can propose a bill or a law to take this out of school, take
Yep.
that out of school. This
And
is not
nobody's paying
important. Don't
attention.
fund this. Don't fund that. And
Mhm.
then you have more generations of uninformed citizens.
Yep.
And here we are today.
Right.
Oh man. So with a minute left, this is the show that airs on Sunday nights at 7 p.m. The show, because it is the show, Vital, every Sunday night at 7 p.m. But today we are here with you in the middle of the day, getting you through your early evening, your late afternoon in the think tank. And we want to allow you the opportunity to talk about what you've been feeling and experiencing. What have you seen that you think we should talk about? It's the Vital Vent Box in the middle of the day. Oh, Brian K. Rice, the community engineer, has brought something to the city's attention we should all pay attention to about an hour ago. So we'll go find that during the break. We'll look at some other things in Scroll Social, and you can continue to post your comments, and we'll go back and visit those things and get in on them if we can. I guess the guest decided not to come. When is the runoff?
I'm the guest.
No, you're not.
Okay. Well, I tried.
The runoff is next Tuesday,
Next Tuesday. Okay.
October the 7th, from
Uh-huh.
7 to 7.
Uh-huh.
And tell them what they need to do. Hey.
Y'all need y'all to vote this time. That's right. 16% elected the mayor. Less than 20% put out a vote. Hey, I need y'all to get out and vote on Tuesday, October the 7th, from 7 to 7. That's right. Go ahead and plan your visit, plan your vote. Tell your boss you got to go vote for that lunch break.
All right, but we'll be right back. It's the Think Tank right here on the V with the show. And we're back. No, I'm not Chris Coleman. I am Lady Wu. And my crew is in the building. Y'all introduce yourselves again.
Hey, I'm Jonathan Hatton, better known as J Hat.
This is Wendy, better known as Wendy.
Straight like that. The phone lines are open. The comments are open. As always, you can comment. The Vital Vent box is open. Anything that you've been experiencing, thinking, want to talk about, want to ask about, and we have some information or knowledge that we can share, we will. It's the Vital Vent box open. It's wide open right now, 994-8949, or you can put it in the comments. Of course, we're talking about the government and the political shutdown right now that we are all experiencing in some way, form, or fashion. You may not know it yet, but it is impacting all of us. It will impact all of us at some point. This question right here is going to kick off the first set of questions for this portion of the show. Why do y'all think God and Jesus have anything to do with world governments?
Well,
Did they ever? When the devil offered them to Jesus, he refused. So the devil owned and ran the world government. That's why he could offer them to him. I remember a song, and the government shall be upon his shoulders.
Yes. Yeah.
And he should be called righteous count. This, that, boom.
Because
he's
the
the Prince
word.
of Peace.
Let them know.
Right? Like it. I created it all. It's all mine. And then people thought that they needed to be governed.
Yeah.
We need a leader. We want to be like them.
Yeah.
Right.
What?
But you have to follow the laws of the land first.
All y'all had to do was what I said.
Yeah.
Okay.
You do.
So yeah, maybe that's just my take on that, Anthony. What do you all say to that part? Why do we feel that Jesus and God has anything to do with politics and government?
He has something to do with everyday people, right?
Everyday people.
Oh, okay.
And Jesus was very much involved in political awareness.
Yeah.
He is a political prisoner. I'm sorry. He's killed by death row. Hello.
Wait.
Come on.
He
Where's
is
my organ?
murdered at the stake. That's
Mhm.
called a public execution.
At public execution.
Okay. And the governor of the province kills him. I think that's pretty political.
All right. Well, there it is.
But you can tell when people make comments if they've been educated about certain things, and you can't fault people right now for the statements and the comments they make, because like I said, fundamentals have not been taught.
Okay. And the exchange of information is what it's all about. So I'm
Right.
always open to that perspective, whatever the perspective is. I do. I'm always open to hear it. I don't have to believe it and align with it, but I am open to hear it. I think that perspective is great. Let's see. Let's keep going.
Yeah, I saw that.
Let's keep going. This is what Hitler. So here we go about, it's kind of religious Jews.
Oh.
This is what Hitler did to the Jews and turned the German army against their own, mainly Jews and Polish. So
Have we gotten that far yet?
no.
Okay.
I
I
just
think
told you
that's a
National
little
Guard was picking up trash.
Yes,
and
I
people
think
were
that's a little
not
bit
even paying them any
extreme.
attention.
I think it's a little bit extreme.
But could it happen? Could we get to a point of total transformation and total chaos?
I think what has been shown is we unify when we feel like we're being overtaken.
Okay.
And I feel like we'll become one before we're taken over.
I hope your feelings are correct. Because if we got to count on the people that chose not to be a part of the process for whatever reason, because they didn't understand it, because is it enough of us who do?
Right.
Okay.
I think
In all the states, not just here in Birmingham, Alabama, in this city, no, everywhere.
Yeah, I kind of feel where this caller or this comment was coming from, and how Hitler rose to power. I can kind of see your parallel, but I would think that our Constitution is strong enough. It's older than him. It's stronger than him. It's more livelier than him to withstand even a Trump in America. So we pray that this is not what we see.
And I feel that you deploy military troops in a war zone, not in civil communities.
I agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why is he able to do it?
He's able to do it because they have strategically put everything in place. The government can only do what the people allow it to do. That goes back to the social contract. And unfortunately, they have Republican governors who are going to co-sign the foolery. But if you had a Democratic governor that pushed back, then you will have a real federal showdown. So
So here's another thing. When you look at it, the way the media portrays things, if you put something in front of people, propaganda on the media, and you, like I say, you incite things and make it seem as if we have a need for that. A lot of people see the violence that's going on around places and cities that need to be policed more, and this crime is increasing, this crime is increasing. You keep putting that in front of people as propaganda, they're going to feel like we need the National Guard, so they're not going to fight against it. So if you say you're going to deploy the National Guard in an area that doesn't need it, we don't know where they are. We just know in the news that we pay attention to, and most people don't pay attention to, that they've deployed the National Guard. Oh my God, we feel safer. You don't even know where they are. You just know they're somewhere.
So just a thought.
And that boy down the street is still stealing radios out your car.
Yeah, because he has no clue that they are.
He don't
deployed
even know where they are.
or who they are, what that even means. My goodness. All right. All right. All right. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, you're in with the show. It's Lady Wu. Chris Coleman is not here. What are your thoughts, feelings, questions, or comments? Hello, caller, you're in. Caller, you're in with the show. Thoughts, feelings, comments, questions. Hey there.
You all are having a great conversation.
Thank you
a
so much,
great
dear.
conversation. And just the input on what's going on in America, it's a political shakedown by the MAGA architects of Project 2025. And when you are demanded to sign something that will harm millions of people, I hope that the Democratic Party can hold out. But just want to make a comment also, and I've heard Iggy say this on Chris Coleman's show and Roland Martin. Many of us are helping fund our own demise because they have diminished us from history. And a lot of us we prefer to be entertained rather than educated. For instance, those that are in leadership positions, political, local, or any position, we don't demand that they educate us. But what they do, they take our money, the people's money, and they buy entertainment to entertain us. And we're so entertained that we've become blind to what's going on.
Ooh,
Y'all have a good day.
We're the jokers.
give her
Okay.
2 hand claps.
Okay. Caller, you're in with the show. What are your thoughts, feelings, comments,
Yes, that
questions?
goes. Good evening, family.
Hey
Thank
there.
you for coming on and talking to us.
Yes, sir. Thank you all for
What's
having
going
us.
on, Mr. Fred?
Hey, brother. I want to touch on something you said earlier, but first let me say to the young lady just got off. It goes back to the 40s, 50s, 60s when our people were migrating to the metropolitan areas from these sundown towns and sharecropping and farming and not really being able to make ends meet. So they migrated to the metropolitan areas. And once we taken control of the metropolitan areas by getting our folks elected into office, going back to what the brother said earlier, these people that we put in office and let them stay there, put them on a pedestal, let them stay there for years and years and years, have continued to lie to us, have continued to lie to the people, have failed to educate the people, have failed to keep the people involved in the kind of communication that would enlighten them and strengthen their place in life, to make sure that they would have an understanding to know that politics and being involved in politics affects every aspect of your life.
Yes.
These folks controlling the money and the resources, they only got in that position because that was control of the money and the resources. If you don't have resources, you can't control your destiny. Would you not agree?
No.
Man,
I
you
agree.
You talking real good.
Yes.
If the
So the
vote
folks
was
that
not
came
important,
up-
Fred, guess what?
Yes, sir.
If the vote was not important, why was everyone excluded minus the elite? Right? So that tells us that the
Exactly.
vote is important because the vote controls the taxpayer money. And when we don't vote, we
But-
tell someone else how to spend our money.
Right.
And that's on a federal,
Exactly.
state, and
And
local
local.
level, right?
And local level. Let me
And-
say this and I'll hang up.
Yeah.
If you got a sick, weak nation with uneducated, unemployed people, then it is easier to have control over the welfare of their lives and livelihood. Would you not agree?
Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely, brother.
So we're watching this happen to us as a nation because if you continue to make sick people, uneducated people, and more poverty, you have a stronger chance of controlling those folks. And our people have been neglected so long when it comes to educating them on issues that affect their very lives. And like the lady said, all they want to do is dance and party and stomp their boots on the ground. And the whole world is turning away from their welfare and well-being. And where's the army?
Okay.
Where's your army? Thanks for your time. God bless you. I'm enjoying the show.
Thank you so much. So the people that engage in these conversations are the people that are
Educated.
okay. And what else? what else?
Informed.
Okay.
And they've been participants.
And then sometimes
They've
not.
been fighting for a long time.
Okay. So
There
now
it is.
we're identifying who the vessels are that
Right.
get it, that vote, that push the issue. But then there's a huge
Gap.
yeah.
It's so important to fill the gaps. And when somebody falls out of position, you have to put somebody else in that position. A lot of people that are being put in positions now for self, and they're being used as puppets.
So we keep going back to this this entertainment piece. I always wanted to be an entertainer. I like forever. Give me a whatever it is, a comb, a pen, whatever. I'm in the mic. I'm entertaining.
ADHD. Keep going.
Baby, it's gift. Gift.
We are in the same car, sis.
Right? But it's not that is not who I am. That is
Yeah.
something that we deal with, right?
Yes, we do.
However, personality and what my gifts were, I knew what they were.
Yeah.
I knew what I was supposed to do. So entertainment is a big piece of that. People do like entertainment.
Yeah,
we
'cause I
need
was a
happiness.
rapper for about 3 years.
Uh-huh.
You remember?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay. But that was your gift, right? So because
Oh.
we do like to be entertained, because we do know that people are attracted to light, they are attracted to good times, why would I not use entertainment to educate?
But we don't. We
But-
use entertainment to
but
continue
who
to have
doesn't?
parties.
Oh, we gonna party.
Yeah, but we're
But we
not.
gonna politic too.
But we're not doing what Hoyt said, party with purpose. We're not educating while we're partying. We're politicking and not picnicking.
Oh.
Okay.
We're
Look at you.
barbecuing.
I like
picnics.
who you think you is, Jessica Jackson?
We're barbecuing and then we're
And what
following on
meal
meal
doing.
doing.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
Okay.
So we're not putting out the information
Okay.
to the masses.
Well, I'm not gonna say we on that. I need more of us to do what
All
we're
right.
doing. That's what
Collectively.
we need. Right.
Yeah.
We need the collective to cultivate the conversations
Yes.
that lead to a new excitement about our political future, about the government, about community, just about community first, like
Mhm.
just community, just my street, just my space, just my that's what we need first.
Because what happened to the Boy Scouts?
They still-
And no, in our community, and look, our Boy Scouts was different from Boy Scouts in other areas.
Those are true facts.
Yeah, it was much different. The Boy Scouts that was at the church that I grew up in is different from the Boy Scouts that they was talking about on the news. I don't know where them people came from, but
They not like us.
they are not like us. It actually taught men how to be men. It taught boys how to become men. And it taught you the importance of community, of gathering, of things like that. The Girl Scouts, it was different in our community than it was in other communities.
Yeah, let me get them cookies.
These
Hey,
girls,
look,
what?
Dion said, let him cook. Okay. Hello, Kimberly. Hello, all of you who are tuning in. Got about 13 minutes in this set, and I want to use these minutes wisely. Miss Doris came back and said, nothing is wrong with entertainment. We need balance in all things. Y'all know I'm all about balance. These scales have to be balanced out. So whereas we have spaces to engage with people in the way that they can connect, you have to meet the people where they are. If I'm meeting you with what is it that the people want that engages them? Is it
It's entertainment, actually.
okay? It's good food, good drinks, and entertainment.
It is. But how do we teach in that lane? Nobody wants to hear the boring stuff.
Well, we make it exciting.
We didn't like Louis the Light Bug.
Okay. Well,
But you knew
Well,
you know
all
now
right.
through conditioning not to carry your behind near that power line.
and not to
So
smoke
do.
in the forest.
You
And
do.
so there are things that you inadvertently learned because it was presented.
But see, education keeps you from falling in ditches.
Oh, because you had to learn it. And
Yeah. So
and, okay,
if you continue to just party without purpose,
you're gonna have stitches.
yeah. So we're so
Which is-
reactive. That's all I'm saying.
Ah.
I just think we're reactive. It's not a problem. We're not gonna go vote till something blow up.
Like, okay, so in 2008, right?
Yeah.
Everybody was in line.
Yeah.
I had never experienced such, but we got the opportunity to put a black man in office, and people believed in that enough to do it.
Yeah. And he brought a message of the moment,
A-
right?
Hey,
Hope.
And he made it
Yes.
personal.
Yes.
He made it very
We
personable.
can.
We.
It was
But
inclusive.
it also contributes to the voter apathy we see because yes, we can brought hope. And then when things didn't change, everybody went like, well, wait a minute.
The hell? All
Ain't
right.
that changed for me?
My goodness. So, okay, now we're starting to see what it is. We're starting to see what it is. How to make it make sense for everybody. Everybody has to understand it. It has to make sense to you for you to accept it and be a part of it. If I don't get it, I'm going to detach. I'm going to,
Absolutely. Make it make sense to me.
Okay. How do I do that? So
And
we
then
got some
how can
suggestions.
how can I be a part of it?
Okay. Don't just invite me and then I got to
Don't
stand back
invite
and watch
me.
you do it.
No, because I want to be a part.
Oh,
I want to be hands on.
all right. So people are not being involved. So we got Drill saying yard parties through songs. That's Jalen. Okay.
We shall overcome. One of those songs, or
Okay.
I
No.
mean, we need better songs.
Not better, current. You just said make it,
Yeah,
make it modern. So
But
just
when
current.
okay, but let me speak on that. When she bought Megan Thee Stallion up there, y'all weren't entertained then.
They were
When Kamala
upset.
bought, y'all was upset.
Yeah, they was upset.
So you can't have it both ways.
So maybe I don't bring Megan Thee Stallion and I go get Mary. I mean, make it
Make it make
Come
sense.
on. Yeah, you just crossover artists all day.
You embarrassing us.
So
Okay.
It's just
All
the
right.
reality.
All right.
What I think what people fail to realize is all things should be done in timing. You have a time for war and peace. You have a time to sing and dance. There's a time. Right now, it's too much going on for us to be playing.
Okay.
That's my saying. Like,
okay.
it's serious
Absolutely.
business.
All right.
Your EBT about to get cut. Your health care about to be cut. Your benefits about to be snapped.
And that's inciting
Housing is about to be
the
snapped. There's
chaos.
a lot
Supply.
going on
That's inciting
that's
the
going to affect
chaos.
us.
And they
Yeah.
said, no, this is an income-based program. It doesn't matter what you pay for other stuff. Oh, is that right? I was just trying to be
Yeah.
ahead of the curve. Caller, you're in with the show right here on B94.9 WATV. The show is in the tank. What are your thoughts, feelings, comments, or questions?
My song gonna be Mirror, Mirror, take the shackles on my feet.
So I can
Mirror,
dance.
mirror, take the shackles
Okay,
from my
James
feet.
Madison.
I hear you.
How
bro.
you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
My birthday coming up
Mine too. What day is yours?
on the 24th.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, happy early birthday, Lee. No, he's a Scorpio.
He's a
I
Scorpio.
am October 10, 10, 10, the perfect balance.
Scorpio Nation taking over. Thank you.
We're not there
Next.
yet. You
Well,
need to relax.
Yeah, all year. Thank you.
That's just how it's going in Washington. That's why they can't vote on the budget. I'm not agreeing with that. I don't agree with it, so I'm not voting. I'm
Right.
not going to vote how you want me to on something that I don't. That's not what we want. All right. Caller, you're in. What's up?
Hello.
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you well. Go ahead, sir.
Please, thank you. This this conversation is very late. Some of us have figured it out.
Mm-hmm.
It's a heck of a conversation every generation have when you're young. You don't wait until crisis like this.
Mm-hmm.
You have some great callers calling.
Yes, sir.
And you asked a great question. My generation, we was dealing with these issues when we were in high school. Wasn't taught this.
Right.
Some of it had to do with our upbringing. For example, my mother taught me, our generation, gathered in the church, say, if you take one step, God will take two. We like to interject God in everything. I like to say this. Man, do you know about 2 months ago, when the man came up to their house in the police cruiser, and a mask, killed the Minnesota legislature and her husband, went to another community, shot those people. Did you not know that man had a religious ministry in Africa, the Congo?
Yep.
Yeah.
We heard about
Yeah.
it.
See,
Yes,
this
sir.
is what it is. Everybody, the American people, all of us ain't gone. Religion is a very powerful tool. You can wake people up with it or you can keep them asleep.
All right. Oh, you can wake them up with it or keep them sleep, or they could just stay sleep because they want to. We are trying to wake you up right now as you travel around, as you sit in your comfortable spaces. But this is the Vital Vent Box. We're talking about all things political today. And if you got something else you want to say, you could do that too. Caller, you're in with the show. What is your thought, comment, question, or feeling?
It's always a blessing. And what I like to say is when it comes down to us as a people being educated as far as voting, entertainment, and all that,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people get their message across through the entertainment industry.
Right.
Really, actually, for quite some time, the legal, the illegal times where from moonshine and all the way up to the juke joints, our people have found ways in order to use entertainment, even going into the woods and praising God and all that stuff. But it's like we don't control the distribution of our message. There's been plenty of groups like X Clan and different people, Public Enemy and all kind of folks have been putting these messages out there, but it just don't get the proper distribution. And like even some of the people who talked about how it was back in the days when certain people voted, like our people seen how when it comes down to voter education, that even when a black person went to go register to vote, they had to give off a dissertation just to even be able to be registered. So over these times, we have to understand, to sum up my point, we have to understand the forces that we're dealing with. We need to get educated on the forces that we're dealing with all this gerrymandering and all kind of stuff like that going on. People are educated on that because some of the highest levels of government and leaders, even all the way back to Abraham Lincoln and Kennedy, have been assassinated. It has been plots to demine their movement to bring this country forward. And it was Democrats and Republicans. It didn't matter.
Thank you for that comment. Thank you for calling in. You guys, we are getting ready for the second hour. Our guests are here. Our guests are here.
We're so excited.
Let me clap for them. So look, it was a miscommunication about the time that they were supposed to come. So they actually were not late. They're actually on time. Okay. So
We got two to do. Let's do it.
let's get to it. I appreciate all of you calling in on that first part. We're going to possibly, yeah, we may come back around. They may get in on some of those topics. But if you have questions for our guests, keep them coming in the comments. Okay. It all goes together. We'll be right back in just a few right here on B94.9 WATV. And we're right back in. No, it's not Chris Coleman. My name is Lady Wu. And been hosting a radio show like this for about 17 years. It'll be 18 on April 6, 2026. Okay, we've been doing this for a long time. We just sound and look young.
Yes.
We OGs. Okay.
We are
All right,
definitely-
that out of the way. Let's get to the business. So we have a runoff election coming up next Tuesday. Let me say this. It takes a lot of courage to run for a public office. A lot of courage, a lot of sacrifice. You have to really have a heart for it. I hope you have to really, really want to make a difference and be in a space. That's the positive side of it. Some people are in it for other reasons, but it takes a lot to do it. So anybody that does it, I always say, I'm just glad that you did it. I'm glad that you found purpose in your pursuit. So today we are talking to our District 8 competitor. These are at this point is 2, and then there were 2. Miss April Williams, how are you?
Good evening. I'm comfortable to say
Yes.
I'm well.
Good. So welcome
Hello,
in.
everybody.
Hey, what's happening?
Welcome in. So you made it to a runoff. I know, like watching the elections. First of all, how does it feel to get to a runoff? Like, golly, why we got to keep doing this? Is it that, or is it like, let's go?
Let's
Let's
go.
go.
Let's
Okay.
go. Of course, we would have preferred to avoid a runoff. It's more time,
Yeah.
more energy, more money, but it also provides more opportunity.
Okay.
To talk to more people, to hear from more people, and to prepare to serve.
So District 8 area I grew up in, District 8, District 9, and it is a special district. And so it needs somebody that understands it. So tell me about your relationship to District 8.
I'm like you.
Okay.
I was born and raised, went to school and lived in District 8 and 9. I was actually born at Holy Family High School, which is in District 8.
Yeah, you got me beat on that, sis. Okay.
Grew up on Avenue G in Ensley, which is District
Yes.
9.
Yeah.
Played in Tuxedo Court
Oh,
and the
mhm.
projects, the brickyard, whatever you want to call it. My grandmother lived on 19th Street, block up from Holy Family. So that's what I went to kindergarten at 23rd Street Baptist Church.
Okay.
Went to Moore Elementary, Council Elementary, P.D. Jackson Nolan High School. So Ensley is home. It's where I grew up. It's the place it's where my roots are.
It's a special place.
It's extremely special to me. We were at Flores last weekend and I said, this is up in Ensley.
Mhm.
And so everybody looked like, what? That's what it was when we grew up. And it was a destination. It was a place. Everything we needed was right there
Right.
in Ensley.
Is that something that you look to do to bring everything that we need back to Ansley?
Not only to Ensley, but
Okay.
to also 5 Points West. When I grew up, everything we needed, we could bike ride over to 5 Points West
Mhm.
and do everything we needed to do.
Absolutely.
So within this area, though, in District 8, there are other communities and neighborhoods, not just Ansley and 5 Points. So, like, what are some of the other areas in the district? Because I don't want y'all to feel like it's all about Ansley. No, it's bigger.
No, it's much bigger and there are lots of opportunity.
Okay.
District 8 starts at Center Street
Mm-hmm.
and it goes to Fairfield and Midfield.
Hmm.
It starts from 59 all the way to Lom. It includes Thomas. It includes Tuxedo Heights. You have Ensley, Tuxedo Court, Bellevue Heights, Fairview, Ensley Highlands, Central Park, Bush Hills, Rising West Princeton, Graymont.
Are you reading off of something?
No, that's what I know.
Baby, she
I
knows her
know-
area.
Oh.
And
Mhm.
you didn't let me finish with College Hills.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
I know District 8. I have, when I served on Birmingham Board of Education for 4 terms, I served District 8. The only exception now is the inclusion of Tuxedo Heights, Graymont, and College Hills,
Okay.
and the removal of Green Acres.
Mm-hmm.
Green Acres and Central Park used to split between 7 and 8. Now Central Park is all in 8 and Green Acres is in all in 7. What I lost that I love is Shady Side.
Mm.
And then parts of Inslee, like Inslee Park used to be in District 8. It's now in District 9.
Really?
Yes.
Now that's
That
crazy. Who
makes
drew these
sense.
lines?
Yeah, that makes-
Pre-K? Okay, so wanting to know more about you said that you represented this area on the school board.
Yes.
So what were you able to do in that position that translates into what you can do in this position? Because I mean, this is a lot of service you're doing. So I want to know, like, what are some of the results and what are the connectors?
Education is central
Mhm.
to any community.
Mhm.
The greatest responsibility of any government is the education of its citizenry. So, starting at the school board, I was a member of the first elected school board. I served 4 terms, and I was elected by my peers as president twice by
Okay.
2 different boards.
Okay.
And I was recognized as School Board Member of the Year by the Alabama Association of School Board. And that's a lot of people beyond the people that look like us in this room.
Yeah.
And while on the board, one of the first things we did was to work with the legislature to change the legislation that organized the school board to allow us to be governed by our own policies.
Mhm.
So that meant collaborating with government. I served as on the advocacy board, both local, state, and national. Small thing was, you might recall the rainy day fund. You heard of
Mhm.
that?
Yep.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, there was a surplus in the rainy day fund, and we needed additional funding to increase our support personnel's salaries. Went down, talked to Senator Roger Smitherman. He was able to help us get those funds directed from the rainy day fund to support personnel. Not
Mhm.
only did Birmingham City School benefit from that, every school district in the entire state of Alabama. So love starts at home, but it sheds abroad. And one of the things I'm extremely proud of is under my term while serving on the board,
Mhm.
we went through a massive capital program for Birmingham City Schools.
Okay.
In the history of Birmingham City Schools, for the first time, you have athletic complexes dedicated to every high school in the city. Now, that may not sound like a lot to a lot of people, but when I grew up, we played on McAlpine Park.
Yes.
I mean, we didn't have a dedicated, we didn't have a stadium, period.
Yeah,
of any
and we
type.
should have
So we
what
have
every other school
stadiums.
has in every other
Every
place.
school,
Yeah, absolutely.
every child needs resources to be successful.
They need to figure that out for
And
Ramsey. That's
so
not your district, though.
when you now have athletic complexes, you can generate
For sure.
funding
Mhm.
to help with your athletic programs.
Okay.
So we were able to do that. The only high school that doesn't have the athletic complex
Mhm.
on campus is
It's
Ramsey.
And that's what I just said.
And
I
that's
know that
just
ain't your-
because it's
Yeah.
landlocked, not because we didn't try.
Yeah.
But we also built a new
You got
gym,
the gym. You
on
right.
Ramsey.
You right. You right. Okay.
And so every school in Birmingham was we either have a new school or major renovations. And then the other thing that was massive, you may recall when we went on, Birmingham City School had 2 law firms that represented the school district. We were spending approximately $3 to $5 million a year on legal fees.
Mhm.
Well, we hired an in-house attorney
Okay.
for under $200,000 a year.
Look
So
at
look
that
at the
cut.
difference of what 200,000 to
5
3 to
6
5 million. So all those dollars went back to teaching and learning.
Yeah.
Okay, and we appreciate that. So thank you for those efforts and how that is like we see that is big. And the way that translates into city council leadership is that we know you'll save some money. We know that you'll know what to spend it on.
Correct.
So when it comes to the equivalent, like those type projects in your role as a city councilor, what are some of those things that you would put money toward and take money from?
Well, that's a loaded question.
Sure is.
One thing would be to complete projects that we've obligated and committed to the community.
Okay.
If you look at Crossplex, one of my sore spots is the fact that we've promised this community a family Fun Center. We promised them more restaurants. We promised them more retail. We promised mixed use housing. We were even promised an amphitheater that's now on the north side.
Mhm.
And so we want equitable distribution of resources on the western side so that we can enjoy those same amenities in our
Absolutely.
community. Everybody doesn't have transportation to go on the south side or the north side. We should be able to do that on the west side.
Absolutely. Okay. So the amenities that other areas have should not be something foreign to District 8. Okay. What is something that people need to know that this is what I stand for and this is where other dollars are going to go? I'm going to invest in.
I would love to invest in an incubator for small businesses. We have a lot of small businesses on the western side of town. You have an incubator downtown where the old Sears used to be, right? But we
Mhm.
don't have anything like that. We have a lot of caterers on our side of town, and they have nowhere to prepare food.
Right.
They're receiving fines. They are going through a lot of having a lot of trouble being proficient in their skills and preparing meals and
Mhm.
and cakes and bakery. They have to go to Hoover or they have to go to Trustful because we don't have anything on the western
Yeah,
side.
that's crazy.
So
Okay.
they would also be able to have shared business office space where you have someone that would be providing their resources, their assistance, right? And then you have common meeting spaces, common offices, common, um, for lack of a better word, a social area.
Yeah.
And then you can have a little restaurant in there, right? Yeah.
I like the
Because I
idea.
get hungry.
We like that. Yeah,
while
but
I'm working.
and not just that, but like all types of businesses. You know, when we were looking for space, that was an
Yes.
issue. Well, you're not a tech business, but I still need space. So
Right.
keep that in mind, okay? When you get your incubator, I'll come over there and help you with that. Um,
Now, another thing that's
okay.
really huge is if you look at District 8, you have Legion Field,
Mm-hmm.
you have Rickwood Field, you have the Bill Harris Arena, you have Crossplex. Every major sport has a home in District 8. So why shouldn't we be the home of, we should be the sports center of the Magic Center
Mhm.
City.
Okay.
And what comes with that? If you look at what happened in Hoover, look at how it redesigned the use of the metro complex, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Barons moved out, they didn't slow down. They redefined the use of
Let's
that
put
space.
pickleball.
And so now we can do the
We
very same
can.
thing. If you look at Legion Field, there isn't anything you can't do if you redesign and refine that area.
Okay.
So I love to see, and what comes with that is revenue, economic development.
Okay.
You're going to have restaurants, you're going to have retail, you're going to have hotels. Those things bring dollars into District 8, but more importantly, to the Magic City.
People, purpose, progress. April Myers Williams, District 8. We're talking now, just talking about some things, some different issues, some different concerns, and some ideas and objectives that she will look to implement if you vote October 7th. So economic empowerment, clean and safe communities. Let's go there because Ainsley, 35208, 35218, well, whichever other one, 787-8097.
35204, 35208,
She know it.
35218.
Yes.
Okay.
A small portion of mail that's delivered by Fairfield, although the people live in Birmingham.
Mhm.
Some mail delivered by Midfield, some delivered, which is 35221 or 28.
Yes, and all of those are hot
28.
spots. So let's
Yeah.
let's stay on the idea of clean and safe communities. I'm from the area, and there are certain parts in the area that depress me when I drive by, when I drive through. And I, you know, representation is everything. If you don't see it how I see it, you may not clean it up. You may not find it to be a problem. How do you see clean and safe communities in District 8?
As I was canvassing, I came across this very deprived area, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you think about College Hills, you think about the legacy, the history,
Right.
the stately homes, but you walk up on these 2 blocks with overgrown lots, apartments that's abandoned,
Yeah.
burned, furniture sitting out on the street, mattresses, debris everywhere. Several candidates were on the radio, and there's a gentleman that lives there named Daryl. And he kept calling in about how bad that area looked. Well, I had witnessed it myself. So I said, well, we can continue to talk about it or we can do something about it. I fortunately serve on the Keep Birmingham Beautiful board,
Okay.
which is relatively being renewed. It's just launched again.
Awesome.
And I called Sade. I said, we need to have a neighborhood cleanup over there. I called the neighborhood president. She said, I've been trying, I've been reaching out to the property owners, I've been doing this. How about this is real partnership? The apartment owners came, they did a portion. The city came, they did work. They brought in dumpsters. When we finished this Saturday, we had 3 dumpsters full of debris.
Okay.
We had families that came out and worked to help clean up their children. Said, can we keep the sticks? I said, well, I tell
If you
what,
keep doing it.
if you keep this up, you can have the sticks. I said, now I come back and it's not clean. You're going to have to give me back these snacks I'm giving you. The girl looked at me. She said, well, we're going to have a problem. Those going to be in my stomach.
You hear me?
But they committed to keeping their community clean. And I felt good, and I know they felt
And
good.
that is where it starts with implementing it from the foundation as children. Hey, we don't litter. We do this, and this is where we live. This is our area. So I'm glad that you were able to tap into that. When it comes to the violence piece and funding and relationship with law enforcement in District 8, where do you stand with that?
I'm a block watch captain for my block.
Okay, now my dad is.
We had a meeting this past Monday, and the West Precinct gave a report. They talked about code enforcement. We talked about how do we address the issues with homelessness and people who are on the streets for various reasons.
Yeah.
And there are a number of issues that contribute to that. So I would want to work with the police department in identifying and with partners, social agencies, places of worship, mental health professionals to identify the underlying root causes of crime and then address it from that standpoint. I had a very brief conversation with former Chief Roper. And, he's on the task team. And I'm going to sit down and talk with him more about that. But partnership is key to everything that we do in our community. Building community. There isn't a segment of the community. I've been talking to residents. Everybody, when I first came on Chris' show, he wanted to know my plan. Say it's not my plan. It's what the people want. Let's plan together. Let's work together to build a District 8 that we all enjoy living, working, playing, and praying.
I like that. All right. Those last 9 minutes are for the people. 994-8949, starting in studio. And then the phone lines are open. Talking to Miss April Myers-Williams, District 8 candidate. Runoff is October 7th. If you live in any of those neighborhoods that she shouted out, this is your time for conversation. Or if you live in the city and you know that it does take partnership and collaboration, you can still call in. I'll answer.
Well, this is a funny moment. I'll say this. As a former candidate in this race, I can honestly say that as I was cleaning out, one of the things that I did see and appreciate was her doing the same thing. And I want to give you kudos for Saturday, because what I heard was the same thing that I felt and experienced myself. And that is the contagious spirit that comes along with doing such a thing. Once the babies see it, they'll do it and they'll continue it. And so I want to give you your flowers there. And I also want to tell you congratulations for making it to the extension of this piece. And I wish you guys speed. Here's the question I have for you. As you have now moved forward now into about 4 or 5 weeks and election day is coming, how do you really feel? Is there anything out there that the voters have said, explained, showed, shared that makes you even more determined to see this through?
Yes, as I've talked to voters, believe it or not, even now there are people who are undecided because they feel that they've been neglected for so long. Who's listening? What are we really going to do? And so, having those conversations with people, I can hear the hope come back alive. When we talk about, they say, well, what's your plan? I said, well, I mean, I know some of the things that we're facing, but tell me what's important to you. And just for people feeling that they are really being heard, that they matter, that they are a part of the solution. Lady said, I Mrs. Smith on my block, she comes out every morning and she picks up trash at 7 o'clock in the morning. I want to be able to go out and help her, right?
Yes.
And then there's another person talked about trash being dumped. What can we do about that? Another talked about sidewalks being broken. They want to be able to walk just like everybody else does in every other community. So just having people being inspired, hearing their hope, hearing their willingness to partner to make District 8 great. That's what's been kind of the most rewarding for me.
Okay.
Uh,
We're gonna take a phone call. Wendy, you got a separate question?
I don't have a question. I'm
Okay.
just gonna make a comment.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, being in medicine or working in the field of medicine, a word that's very taboo for a lot of people is root cause. You don't hear a lot of people and doctors talk about root causes, because once you treat the root cause, there's no potential for residual income, like through pharmaceuticals and just pushing things off and not really treating root causes. And that's one word that I've heard you say several times, and I just really applaud you on that. You're treating root causes. I like that.
That's what's up. Caller, you're in with your question, comment, thoughts, or feelings. What is it?
My question is, what can be done, especially when you've talked to the chief of police or you've called the police several times? What can be done about people who are not hoarders, not hoarders? They don't take over a empty house, but they will go on property and camp out and sell whatever illegal, whatever, or
Squatters.
have a, what do you call it, a bar on wheels, and the police see them and pass right by them. I mean, and they know what's going on, but they're on the corner. They've taken over church property or part of the church property, and I mean, what can be done? When we see it, you're afraid to say anything to them. They block the street. You can't go by on one street in Enfield. Church can't even have their services anymore because these people won't get off of their parking lot. So
That
the
was
city
a
knows
big
about it, but what can be done about it?
part of the conversation this past Monday
I'm
on the
sure. I
Block
know.
Watch. The room was packed with Block Watch captains, neighborhood leadership, and the West Precinct
But
and
that wasn't
other
the
members
first
from the
time.
police
This has been
department.
going on
We
for at
talked
least
about
4 years.
abandoned vehicles, code enforcement. We talked about people, what do you call them when you stay in a house? And
Squatters.
Yep, squatters.
squatters. We talked about people operating businesses illegally or without licenses. And we talked a lot about panhandlers, people on the corners, and not just the fact that they are there, but they bring a lot of litter with them. They leave it there. I come off every day on 2059 off of Arkadelphia. I believe everybody, when people have needs, then we need to work with them to help meet them where their needs are. But when you pull over and you offer a person to come go with me, I have work that I'm going can pay you to do today, and then they tell me no, I can make more money standing here panhandling. That's not what we should be supporting in our community. So working with the police department. And I can say to you that West Precinct Captain committed to us in that room that his team will address those very issues.
Okay. Miss April Myers Williams, speak to the people. got about a minute and a half as to why they should vote for you in this runoff election and what you're going to do for District 8, what you need them, all that. What do you need them to do? All the things, say them now.
Okay, I say vote for me because I have the time. That is the physical time. I'm retiring this month.
Oh,
So
Praise
I've
God.
been
Look
talking
at
with
you.
everyone. That was one of the challenges Councilor Clark said to me was just a lack of the ability to do the work because when you're working somewhere else, it limits you.
Yeah, I'm tired.
So I have the interest. Birmingham District 8 is home. I grew up here. I'm motivated. I'm already working in the community. If you look at what we've done to redefine and revitalize Bush Hills, we have a scalable model that can be duplicated across all 12 neighborhoods and across the city of Birmingham. And I have the experience. I've worked at the city of Birmingham in government. I've served 4 terms on Birmingham City School Board. I've been board president twice. I have a 38-year career, 37 of those in management. And so I understand leadership, I understand governance, I understand budgets, and whatever it takes, I am committed to working with the people, all stakeholders, places of worship, building partnerships. And that's what I do best. I'm a partner. I build, I cultivate, I nurture partnerships,
That's what it's about.
bringing everybody together and working with the executive level as well as the legislative body to bring about change in District 8.
All right. The date is Tuesday.
The date
October
is
7th?
Tuesday,
Mhm.
October the 7th from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.
All right. April Myers Williams, District 8. If you heard your neighborhood called out, get out and vote. If you voted one time, vote two, because it's not going to happen without you. All right. Up next, Terry Rector, Michael, District 2 Board of Education. We will be talking with her just like we did with Miss Myers Williams, and you can decide 2025. We'll be right back in about a few seconds. Don't go too far. It's vital. It is not Chris Coleman.
That's your tag.
I am Lady Wu. Right here every day, 12 to 3 p.m. in Lady Wu's Midday Fun Shui. Every Sunday night, you are able to tune into the Abby Award-winning Vital Show with these amazing people who came in here even during the week. We are always vital. So we are here with you today. We've been here with you since the top of the show, and now we're getting ready to present to you another candidate who will be in this runoff on Tuesday. Oh, what? Your vote is I know you did. Did y'all see this?
I
Yeah.
did. That's why.
What? Okay, then, girl. Your vote is vital. Make it Michael. Birmingham School Board District 2. So, how are you? Welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you.
I haven't seen you in a long time. You
No,
came
it has
back
been
in the day.
Right.
So, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Indeed.
I liked my little slogan there because now people know how to say my name. Without the E in it, people don't think it's Michael. And so I get it pronounced all kinds of ways.
Okay. Makes sense. Vital Michael. But you said vital. Out of everything on here, that's the thing. So that means that you know what's essential, what's important. And you are running for District 2.
Yes.
School board.
Have
you been in that space before?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
From 17 to 21.
Okay.
I held that seat. Yep.
So that means that you know about it. And I got to get back in it. What happened?
What
You
happened?
said I got to go back. What changed? What?
Oh, you mean for me?
Yeah, because you're going. I want to go back to where I was. Tell us about that.
Yeah. No. So there was a lot of work that I was doing, and I really want to get back, and I want to continue that work. A lot of it is the workforce development stuff that I have been working on, and that is just something that's really close to my heart. There's a workforce development center that we could have up to 200 of our students testing into and using.
Okay.
And we'd have 8 there, 10 there.
8 to 10, but it's capacity for 200?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And so that did not sit well with my soul.
Yeah.
And so as soon as I got on the board, I started asking questions. And I just made it my personal goal to make sure we get that done. One thing that the principals were saying was that we didn't have money for the buses because, it's free, right? And so, but we have to pay for transportation. I'm like, come on, y'all, we can do better. But under the previous superintendent, they didn't really want to solve that problem. And so as soon as Dr. Sullivan came along, because I'm very proud that the board I was on hired Dr. Sullivan.
Okay.
I think he's doing quite well with his vision. But anyway, so I talked to Dr. Sullivan about it, and he said, you know what, we're going to make a fund. And he made a line item, a little fund, and that was for the buses for the Workforce Development Center. So we were starting to make some gains, but then the pandemic came along.
Yes, and changed everything.
Yeah.
Okay. So now I got to get back to the work that means something to me. So tell us a little bit about your academic experience. What's your story?
So I don't make any, how do I say it? Apologies for the fact that I do only have a high school diploma.
Okay.
I'm very proud of the fact, actually, that I'm a self-made person and I've done quite well for myself with just, air quotes, a high school diploma.
Okay.
That does not define you.
Come on here.
So I didn't realize that I feel I'm a fairly smart person, but I didn't realize it because I didn't have anyone at home telling me I was. I didn't have anybody supporting me. I was one of 6 kids, single mom. And so I was 5th of 6.
Okay.
And so, at any rate, I cheated my way through school. I'll be the first one to admit that I did. But when you cheat your way through school, you had to get C's. If you get A's, then they're going to expect you to know something.
Yeah.
Right. So I just cheated my way through. But once I got,
I'm
just being honest.
Yeah.
You're always going to get honesty from me. All right. So, but in my senior year, they made it really difficult. And I had a heavy load. I had psychology, sociology, government, and econ. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to study. And I did. And I made honor roll.
And so you just had to apply yourself. You didn't even know that?
I didn't know I could do it.
Okay.
So then I did go work in a factory. Didn't even take the SATs. 3 years later, I take the SATs because at that point I have a little child. I have support. So I'm like, maybe this college thing is for me. And so I took my SATs and I actually was accepted in Purdue University and Ball State University. I chose Purdue and I attended there.
Love it.
yeah.
So the importance of influence, like I needed to be exposed to
Absolutely.
education and knowing that I had this potential.
Right. Yeah. Because I didn't know if people aren't encouraging you to do something, if I did dare talk about my dream, then I just get laughed at.
Mm.
And so I didn't have any hopes or dreams. It's like, what's the point? We all get pregnant, married, and work in factories in my hometown, and usually in that order. And so,
Mm.
we had the highest divorce rate almost in the country, I think, next to Las Vegas. So, where I grew up, it was
Where did you grow up?
in Crawfordsville, Indiana.
Okay, and then migrated to the Birmingham, Alabama.
Yes. So what happened was,
Uh-huh.
while I was at Purdue, I met the father of my children, and so we got married, and he was farther ahead than me in college.
Okay.
So we moved down to Huntsville. Oh gosh, this was back in '86, and so my intention was to get back into college, go to UAH, but we got pregnant a lot sooner than we thought.
Okay.
And so it was like every couple of years, I'm like, okay, now I'm going to go back to college. And oops, I get pregnant again.
I mean, that's what love does.
So,
Okay.
Yeah. So I finally stopped, having babies. And by that time, I had 4. And I'm like, I got a family to take care of. I was a stay-at-home mom. Everything was cool.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm good. And I enjoyed that.
But experience plays into what you're looking to do. Like if I understand these different struggles and children needing to be empowered and motivated to know that they can learn, I need to be in a position to do that. And that's what it sounds like you're going to be able to translate in that role.
Yes, absolutely. The kids, they need to have it brought out in them, and they need someone to believe in them, no matter what their circumstances are. All children are the same. They are capable of the hopes and the dreams and the achieving. Everybody achieves at a different level, though, but everybody has the right in our country in public education to be able to work towards and achieve at their highest possible level.
Yes.
And that's why I do what I do. Because yes, my experiences that I went through, but then raising my children in Madison, Alabama, they received an excellent public education. And when they became teachers, 3 of my 4 kids are teachers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when they became teachers, it's embarrassing, but I always had to be honest. I didn't know about Title I schools, about high poverty schools. Though that wasn't our experience in Madison. We had very diverse schools, but they were not Title I schools. And so once my children grew up and started working in Title I schools, I'm scratching my head like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Why is their experience in these schools so different than my children?
Vastly different.
And once you know something, you can't unknow it. And I'm like, these kids deserve so much better. I know Alabama can educate its children because they educated mine. And so, I want to do whatever I can do in my little part of the world to try to make sure that the kids are receiving, the resources and the help that they need to be able to be their very best, whatever level that is.
And that's exactly what's needed. So what are the schools that are in District 2?
It's Osceola Mitchell, WJ Christian, and Putnam.
Okay.
When I was on the board before, there was 6 of them. So now we're just down to 3.
And see, that's a thing too. So what are your thoughts about how the school system is shrinking and educational choice and all the different things? How do you feel about those things?
Well, I feel like under Dr. Sullivan, there was even a year where we gained students. I think, if I remember, please don't anybody hold my feet to the fire here, but I think we did gain like 100 one year.
Okay.
But we've been steadily losing. So it kind of plateaued. I think this time, if I remember correctly, we did lose a few. So that is really unfortunate. But there's several things that play into that. And one thing I told Dr. Herring and Dr. Sullivan both is that schools, systems like Birmingham City Schools, we get caught up in this data chase. And that's so frustrating for me because predominantly Black and brown districts and high poverty districts, they get set up for failure with all this data talk.
Oh, wait. And when you say chasing data, like what is on these papers that we're chasing? What numbers are we looking for?
It's not the Epstein files.
Oh, Wendy, get out. Now.
am.
What
Um,
is it?
Well, I mean, it's basically based on test scores. Now, our report cards, like every school and school system now has a report card. So I don't mean the children's report cards. I mean the systems. So there is more than just test scores that factor into it, like attendance and things like that. But it is predominantly test scores that school systems and schools are measured on anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just there's so much that goes into education and into a child
Yeah,
that is so much more than just data and test scores.
absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
so when you're breaking a child down to just that one number, that is just so unfair. There's geniuses out there that have created amazing and wonderful things that didn't score well on tests.
Come on now.
Yeah.
So you know something? I'm telling you, our experience makes a difference, and when you hear it, you know it. And you want to increase participation. So we talked about the Workforce Development Center because everybody does not want to go to college. Some
Right.
people are ready for the workforce. They know, hey, I want to be a plumber. I need somewhere where I can get these skills and be on my way and make all my money.
Mhm.
Some people know that. So you got that part.
Right.
A comprehensive plan to increase security in every school.
Yes.
So right now, what are we looking like as far as security goes? Resource
Well,
officers or what?
No, that's not necessarily what I mean. So
Okay.
I am proud that when I was on the board, we did make the funds available to create the security bubbles. So now
Mhm.
every one of our schools has security bubble, which means people still have to ring in to be allowed in the building, but then there's still another layer. They can't have access to the whole building. Now
Okay.
there's other doors that they have to be, buzzed through. So once they're vetted and we know they should be there and what they're doing there, then they can let them in and have access to the school if that's what they need.
Okay.
So that's a start. So I was really proud that we did that. But I feel like there's more that we can do. And this isn't about because we have children doing terrible things, we got to monitor them. This is about look at our federal buildings, look at our airports. I mean, look at how we keep people safe there.
Mhm.
How I don't buy that we can't keep our children safe in a school.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
As
lots.
we should.
Right. And I mean, there's lots of doors in some of the buildings, right?
Mhm.
And the thing is, what we need some real security, as in cameras on those doors, alarms on those doors. And then when the alarms sound, have someone that's their job to look at security cameras and say, okay, what's going on at that door? And then address it. Is
Okay,
this
Joe
cheap?
Clark.
No.
So
Okay,
being that
chains
she
on the
came
door.
from Huntsville, I can say that working in Huntsville schools, that was one thing that I did notice going into their schools. You have one security door to give you access to the school, and then you have another security door that goes into the school.
You can come in this office.
Yes, you
But
can come to the office, and then you have to be buzzed into the offices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
I mean, it
have
makes
security
sense.
points at every. Is that something that you bought from Huntsville, or that you saw up there, and that you wanted to implement here, or?
No, I can't really say that. That's just kind of best practices for
Yeah.
schools in general.
Okay.
Now, one thing is we did go to Miami and visited a bunch of schools down in Miami. Plus, in my work with the teachers union, I went to Miami schools a lot to work campaigns there. I don't mean political campaigns. I mean issue-based campaigns. But at any rate, Miami's a huge school system, and I did not by any means go to every school. But the one thing Miami did was keep those kids safe in the buildings. Now, one thing people go back and forth on are fences around the school system. I mean, the school buildings,
Yeah.
right? That's some people are like, it looks like a prison, and other
Right.
people, and I really get that. But what I can say in Miami was it was just something that is there, and it wasn't a pro or con thing. That's just the way their
It's a
schools
safety
work.
measure. Mhm.
Yeah, and especially in a lot of neighborhoods where you do have housing, whether houses or apartments or whatever. But when you have people that close to the school, it is hard to keep that school secure. So I felt like I really
Yeah,
was
because in
interested in that.
Wynwood, the places that we stay in Miami, the schools, like you walk right out of a hotel or Airbnb, you walking directly
Yep.
into the school,
Mhm.
and I'm like, oh,
It needs
I
to be
didn't know
some
that was a
type of
school right there.
barrier.
But
Okay.
there is no barrier. It's a street. You walk across the street, you're at the college. So it's just open.
Yeah, everything's just right there.
Mhm.
So I like the perspective, like the idea about it. Our panelist here, our brother is an educator, so he's in a school every day. And I know you got some questions
Oh, absolutely. But
Hmm.
first of all, how are you, Terry?
I'm
Good to
doing
see you again.
wonderful. Yeah, you too.
Most of our work came through the AFT measures. Um, Nevertheless, the safety and security is key. A few years ago, that was a major emphasis with the survey, as you probably well know. But when I think about the safety, it kind of is it's kind of counterproductive from this vantage point. And I don't really want to say this on air, but I got to say it on air. Uh,
Okay.
we took out a lot of our SROs out of the schools, and so we replaced them with a grant program when we're putting people there that don't have any weapons. If elected next Tuesday, would you fight to restore some type of security measure where there's someone who is trained and well able to defend our babies in case a breach happens?
I like that. Didn't know that.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
they were there when we were there.
Yeah.
yeah.
And it
Definitely.
started when my daughter.
Now,
Okay.
this has
Yeah,
happened
let's,
about two,
let's.
maybe two years ago.
Wow.
Okay. So now we got some security guards that are not armed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so the SROs are supposed to be trained to be working with students, and that's what sets them apart from a police officer who is trained to,
Like patrol.
yeah, yeah. And so there, in especially our high schools, there would be both. We would have some armed people, and then there would be some SROs as well. And then in middle school, there would be officers that not assigned to one building, but they would travel. And so, in the high schools, there were people that were assigned and would stay there.
Yeah.
In middle schools, it was a little bit different.
Mhm.
So, as far as having an armed person there, I mean, I can't say right now, not being a board member, of course, I would have to be talking with parents and community people and really, look at all sides of it. I'm not behind the scenes having the conversations with the superintendent and the other board members to really be able to say that, yes, we need more armed people, or no, we don't. Was that what your question was?
Yeah, we don't have any.
Yeah.
So when you go to having some and don't have any, I think even
There's
with
some
the
progress.
security measures we're having in place,
Okay.
it's counterproductive.
Right. Okay. No, I hear you. And quite honestly, I thought there were still people in the high schools.
No, there's no one at Ramsey.
No one at Ramsey.
No.
Okay. Are you familiar with the other high schools?
Nope. I just kind of deal in where I work, but
Okay. Yeah.
So in essence,
I know most high schools had multiple.
Yeah.
And we had one. Now
Okay.
we have none.
Yeah. Well,
So-
in that case, yes, I hear what you're saying about
Yeah.
Ramsey in particular. If they've done that there, I really don't understand why. And, of course, our employees need to be considered
Mhm.
and their comfort and their expectations and their needs, because the climate in a building is vital.
Mhm.
We
Yeah.
really need to make sure that everybody feels safe and protected in a building.
For sure.
And I say that because people say, well, that's Ramsey, but about 90% of the school shootings happen at schools that you don't think that they will happen at.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
And so I push that
Absolutely.
button just because it's something that I walk around thinking about. Well, what sense does it make? But
Yeah.
it's good to know that you will at least inquire.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's a conversation that has to happen. And I really appreciate you bringing that to my attention.
So one of your other points on your campaign is to increase mental health services for students. Now I know that there were like some millions of dollars poured into mental health care. I don't know
Mhm.
what that looks like on a school level, but what does that look like to you?
Well, I feel like, of course, we all know that our counselors anymore aren't counseling. They're mostly doing
They're
paperwork,
testing,
and they're
okay.
trying, yes, and to get, folks in college and all that kind of stuff. And so our children really, really need to have, especially when you're talking about students that maybe might be in need of 504s plans and things
mhm.
like that, they definitely need to have the testing. And we didn't have enough people. And so we did hire more of the psychometrists.
Yeah.
Yeah. And things like that, so that we could better serve the students. But I don't think that's good enough. Also, we need to talk about programs. And no, I don't mean, God, I know a teacher, you say the word program and their eyes roll in the back of their head.
Not another one.
Yeah, right. So no, but I mean something for real that the students can use for conflict resolution and that
Mhm.
type of thing. I think we desperately need that. So it's just mostly what we were doing when I was on the board was we were ramping up a structure, our own structure, to where we could serve so many of the needs of the students in house.
Mhm.
But that kind of stalled.
Well, I will say that in the stalling, there is a huge need.
Yes.
Like I told you the other day, I've
Mhm.
been working with some nonprofit organizations just recently that reached out because they don't need help filling out college paperwork. They've got that down pat. They have their scores, and this is within Birmingham City, Midfield, like the other areas. It's the transitioning from senior to going to college, and they're battling depression.
Mhm.
The parents are battling empty nester syndrome like me, and the children are battling depression. And I didn't
And I
know
can
it was
imagine
so
some
prevalent
anxiety
in the
too.
schools and
Yeah.
anxiety.
Yeah.
So they're reaching out. They have to find the resources. So they're going to these nonprofit organizations to see what they can do
Yeah.
Right.
because it's not within the school system.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to use
It's-
the resources where they are.
It's on you. Yeah, we got a few minutes left on.
Okay. Yeah, so I was going to say again, and not being internal anymore, it's really hard to say, but I do know that that's kind of stalled. One thing I did do, staying within my role as a board member.
Okay.
Yeah, I was talking with the student support services a lot, trying to figure out where the breakdown was, like in communication from the central office level to the school level to the teachers, because information was not flowing, and that means the children were not getting the help that they needed.
Mhm.
A lot of times teachers weren't even getting their IEPs and things on students until way too late in the year. And that's not at every school, that's not all the time, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying that shouldn't ever happen. So
For sure, the students come first, and by all indications, you have shared that that is what matters to you, the students and the community that
Oh,
they
yeah.
come from. So the parents as well,
Yes.
parents as partners initiative, which I love because if you're gonna expect something in a school environment, you have to have those same expectations in a home environment. It just
Yeah.
they go hand in hand.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to see these points. Anything
you.
and what do you want the people to know as they vote for you on October 7th?
Well, I think that I definitely am the best person for the job because I am in the community. I am a part of the community, and I really am not afraid to do the work. And, we didn't get to touch on choice and options. But I will say this, what you want in your school board member is to know that 100% everything that they do is to support the children and the employees of Birmingham City Schools, because that's the oath that we take. And when you are working to bring other options and choices, which parents have the right to, but when a school board member is doing that, they're actually working against the very oath that they take and putting Birmingham City Schools first, because they're actively supporting, taking, siphoning money away from the schools. So it's not that I'm saying that parents shouldn't have those options. They absolutely should. But as a public school board member,
Mhm.
it's our job to put the Birmingham City School students first and be fiscally responsible. So
Okay.
it's kind of a contradiction to do those two things. And so with me, there's no contradiction there.
Oh.
You know where I am.
Okay. Very solid. No contradiction. You know where she is. Vote October 7th. Your vote is vital. Make it Michael for District 2. So if their students go to where or they live in what area?
So it's Roebuck South Roebuck. I always forget which way to say that. Roebuck Springs. We're all
Yeah.
together right there. We're the
Mhm.
same neighborhood. Southeast Lake, Overton, Crestline, Crestwood South. Did I say Southeast Lake? Brown Springs.
Okay.
Brown Springs. Yeah.
So if you live in any of those areas on the 7th, you have a decision to make. Make the decision. Not telling you anything that you did not hear on the air. If you listen closely, you make your decision, but be sure to get out and exercise your right to vote. Y'all, we'll be back on Sunday night. Y'all ready for Sunday night?
Yes, sir.
So many things to discuss. Maybe the government will be open again. Who knows what's going to happen? But we do know on October 7th, you all need to vote. Terry, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Indeed.
It was great seeing you guys.
Absolutely. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow at noon for the free lunch flashback and for what else I'm doing. It's a festive Friday. It's a party. So come to the party, 12 o'clock right here on V94.9 WATV. Y'all be vital. Enjoy your evening. I'm headed to karaoke. Bye.
Woo-hoo. Yeah.